You've been doing this for years now.
Yeah, I've been doing comedy. I quit my job in 2015. And since then, I count all the effort that I put in. Okay, so the book is called Happiness in Your Skin. This is one of the books I've written. I've written a few more, which are all on Amazon. Because I like to talk to people of depth, right? I get bored if my conversations don't have depth.
And you're comfortable with that because you're one person and you're splitting yourself.
No, I realize I'm one person, but okay, that's a good question. Depression is way popular than happiness. That's why psychiatrists are doing better in society than like people who talk about happiness. Nobody's talking about happiness.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Green Room Chat. Today I have with me Amar, who is a stand-up comedian, somebody who gives some great talks and who is also an author. So thank you so much, Amar, for joining me today. I'm your host, Shri Rupa. You can call me Shri. I'm a stand-up comedian and an improviser and an actor myself, and it is my absolute joy to host you today. So hey Amar, how are you doing?
I'm good, Shri. Thanks for having me. Great to talk to you. Actually, I've not been talking to a lot of people these days, so nice to have this fun conversation.
I can totally imagine things are quite terrible around us. And Amar,
Yeah,
thank you for joining us despite everything.
yeah, pleasure.
So let's just quickly just dive into knowing you a little more. Amar, tell us a little bit about your journey. What brings you to do the things that you do today?
So I think the whole idea of doing what I do right now with books or comedy or I write a happiness blog also is the idea that happiness is the purpose of life, and whatever we should do should make someone happy. So the idea was to find purpose in life, to do stuff which am good at and try to get better at, and at least at a small level, try to make the world a better place. So my books, my comedy, even my blog, everything I do is channelized towards trying and make people happier, on a fleeting level or on a permanent level. That's why I do everything I do. Yeah.
That's very nicely put. So if I wanted to rephrase that, I would say that it is the center of your existence, trying to make people happy. Did I get you right?
Yes. Yes. That's what I think about most of the time. How do I do that?
Okay. And what keeps you going in this? I mean, it's been quite a number of years. You've been doing this for years now.
Yeah, I've been doing comedy. I quit my job in 2015. And since then, I count all the effort that I put in. So it's been 6 years. And what keeps me going is largely I mean, it's like running, right? I'm a runner. So I've run a marathon and a few half marathons. It's like, you do it for the heck of it. You do it because you enjoy doing it so much. Like people say dumb shit like, why do you run? Ab bhagte kyun? I mean, these questions are very tough to answer. From an outsider's point of view, you run because you enjoy the process of running. You do comedy because you enjoy the process. You can't. I mean, people laughing because of you is a drug. It's crazy, and comedy gives you that. I mean, you get on stage and people are laughing right there in front of you because of you, because you cracked a joke. You wrote a book. People tell me stuff like they love the book, their parents love the book, the kid, I mean, their whatever relatives love the book. So many, like the book Happiness in Your Skin sold about 2,000 copies, and a lot of people send me beautiful messages because of that. It's just the pleasure of making people happy, making a dent somehow, because otherwise most people live lame lives, right? Most people live lives where there is no purpose. Most people live lives where they don't feel deeply connected with what they do. Maybe they make a lot of money, but they feel empty inside. I think the greatest tragedy in the world is people feeling empty inside in spite of having a lot that they have to show to the world. So we don't want to feel empty inside. And that is the whole point of life, that we should do stuff which makes us feel that life has meaning. So that's what keeps me going, because I think with comedy and writing and whatever I do, I think it gives my life meaning.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your book.
Okay, so the book is called Happiness in Your Skin. This is one of the books I've written. I've written a few more which are all on Amazon, and it's called Happiness in Your Skin. The reason it's called Happiness in Your Skin is because my whole metaphor for happiness in your skin was goosebumps, right? So when you have goosebumps, uh, you don't you can't cause goosebumps, right? Goosebumps happen because they are a natural phenomena of an emotion that your body has produced, right? So you have goosebumps when you're really happy, you have goosebumps when you are extremely afraid, uh, you have goosebumps, right? So there are moments in our lives where we are so happy that we have goosebumps, right? And you can't deny that kind of emotion. You can't be lying about that, because most people are lying about the kind of life they're living. My idea of happiness in your skin is the kind of happiness you can't lie to yourself about. So goosebumps is that. I mean, so my whole idea of happiness is to create a life in a way that you have that kind of happiness where you feel so happy from inside that you have goosebumps, that it's so that is the kind of happiness my book is directed towards. uh, Doing things which have purpose, finding meaning in life, finding purpose in life, not chasing success but chasing happiness, because success is external. Different people can tell you if you're successful or not, but nobody can really tell you if you're happy or not, right? So because only you can honestly answer the question कि आप जिंदगी में आज खुश हैं या नहीं है. तो that is the kind of, that is the point of happiness in your skin, to be able to find the happiness that is absolutely true in your skin, because the skin doesn't lie. Yeah.
So, where does all this start? Like, where did the idea of pursuing happiness as the center of your existence start?
I'm not sure. You know, I was very I was very shy as a kid, right? I was almost nobody noticed me throughout my school and college lives. Uh, Nobody noticed me. I was so shy. I was sick by by religion, or by birth. I'm an atheist now. But I was so shy that I was mocked throughout my school life because I had a turban. It was called the star, which the younger six wear. So I was short. I was sick. I was bullied, and I was shy. And then there was a lot of suppression inside me. But then as I started growing up in college, I started reading books. And I always had this thing about uh, if things matter or not, and why do things matter. I had always these things matter if they make you happy. I mean that is the whole all encompassing answer. If I want, if I have to give that, that if some, how do you decide that something is important to your life or not? How do you decide if I should talk to you right now or not? How do I decide if I should read a book? How do I decide if I should do a piece of activity or not, small or big? So
Mm.
the whole idea, I've been thinking like since my 20s, I've been observing other people, and everything I did, there were a lot of experiments that I failed, but everything I did was to absolutely really understand, does this really make me happy? I don't know. So that's how I've been thinking about these things since my early 20s, and it's been like 2 decades I've been thinking about happiness. And my blog on happiness is more content in all my books, and I'm like, it's probably an encyclopedia on happiness is there right now. And I hope a lot of people will read it over the course of the next few years. So that is the whole idea, because anything. So the whole quest to understand why life matters, that is what led me to happiness. Because Aristotle said, I've not read much by Aristotle, but I mean, that was that one quote by him, that happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. That is what Aristotle said. And I totally agree with that. Because because everything that any I do at an individual level, or anything that the whole world does at a world level, the whole point is, if it's making people happy. If it's not, it's wasted. If yes, then it's a good thing to do.
Okay. And when you look at it from a choice, the lens of choice, right?
Hmm.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that happiness also dictates our choices. Do you want to talk a little more on that? I know there's something that you have touched in your book around that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it dictates. I mean, it should dictate, right? It should dictate everybody's choices, but unfortunately, it doesn't. For me, it does. For me, my inner happiness dictates everything I do. But for most people, it doesn't. Even for 90% of like of the world, I would say it doesn't really dictate their choices, because the world right now at this point in even the 21st century is a miserable place. People are addicted to depression, uh, and they somehow have this whole idea that somehow they are kind of addicted to pain, right? So somehow people are so afraid of to being happy कि आजकल लोग जिंदगी में थोड़ा सा खुश हो जाते हैं, तो वो परेशान हो जाते हैं कि वो खुश कैसे हो गए. So it's a very
कुछ
weird
गलत
world
होने
out there.
वाला है इसके बाद.
हाँ, कि कुछ गलत होने वाला है, हम खुश कैसे हो रहे हैं, हमें खुश नहीं होना चाहिए. You look at around people, right, in society that जब लोग दुखी होते हैं तो कोई उनसे कोई कुछ नहीं पूछता कि आप दुखी क्यों हो रहे हो. लेकिन अगर कोई हंस रहा होता है तो लोग कह देते हैं आप हंस क्यों रहे इतना. It's weird, right? Like somehow the society is built around misery and depression. And if you look on Google, right, so this blog I write, I search for keywords. Depression is far more popular than happiness. Depression is way popular than happiness. That's why psychiatrists are doing better in society than like people who talk about happiness. Nobody's talking about happiness. Like the very few people who are saying this is what you should do to be happy. Most people are saying how to avoid depression or how to avoid pain, because that is what is popular. How to be happy is a question that's not as popular. So it should dictate choices. But even around me and around in life, whatever I see, people are generally doing, like, most people don't really think about these choices. People do stuff because it makes them look good in the eyes of their families, in the eyes of the world around them. It's success, right? That's what success is, the outward measure of life. So people do stuff to impress somebody, and that's the whole point. That's a whole wasted idea, because happiness is internal, right? It's internal. If you're driven from something that's inside you, you won't care about what anybody thinks about you. But most people don't have the guts to do that, because it takes a lot of confrontation to say, dude, I don't really give a damn about what you think, because I'm doing what comes from inside, right? So if you do, it should ideally guide, but it doesn't guide right now because people don't have guts to chase it.
Right. So your Instagram, for example, is a space where you put out a lot of content around all of this, right? I have been
Hmm.
noticing that you talk a lot about happiness, talking about more pragmatic approaches to how do you address it, and you have named it Amarvani. Like that's how your Instagram profile flows out. Is this something that you are doing to kind of like spread the word and inspire others, or is it something that is part of your art form?
I mean, basically there are two. So the Amarvani profile right now I have I'm trying to make it more comedy focused, because I realized there are two. See, basically the audiences who. So I have two personalities. One is the guy who talks about inner happiness. One is the guy who does comedy, right? And these two personalities are different, because because the audience for these two personalities is different. So the audience for comedy doesn't really think deep. They want to laugh right now. They want to get done with it, right? So they don't really think as deep. So the profile, so the Amarvani profile now is, I'm trying to focus more on jokes which make people laugh, and that's it. Then there's other profile. Then the blog. There's a blog piece. Then my books. Then I started another Instagram profile which is very small. It just started like a month back. So it's connected to my blog, and there I'm talking inspiration. It's called Happiness Blog by Amarvani. So over there, I'm only talking about stuff that should make people happy from inside. So that is the whole idea with social media. I've also started another YouTube channel besides my comedy channel, again because the audience is different, to talk about stuff that should inspire people to find their happiness. So I'm keeping these two pieces separate, because I realized over a period of time that the people who consume these content are different.
And you're comfortable with that because you're one person and you're splitting
No,
yourself.
I realize I'm one person, but okay, that's a good question. I I'm not comfortable with that, but I'm frankly not comfortable with that. I mean, ideally, I would want to keep a same profile, right, and talk about both the things at the same profile. But then I realized that people are different, and these are very different people, right? Basically, very different people. Like people who consume content like the monk who sold his Ferrari, or read Anthony Robbins, or Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Those people want depth in life, right? And the kind of content that I put on my blog, for that example, they need depth. And I have this, so that part of me is depth, where I talk about people to develop depth in life. Because I like to talk to people of depth, right? I get bored if my conversations don't have depth. So and then so that's that audience. But the comedy audience doesn't really seek depth. It doesn't seek depth. So I posted some of my talks on my comedy channel, and somebody I remember commented, "Gyan mat bato." Uh, so basically, I realized, dude, fine. So this is not for you. So then I don't post that content on my comedy channel. So I've made a separate channel. So hopefully, I'll be able to build it over the next few years. But the people are different. I that's one thing you realize, that different people, and people who seek depth, they're rare. They're rare. Like very few people really seek depth in life. Most people are fine to live at a superficial level. uh, very few people seek depth in life.
Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Aman. That's very insightful. I mean, the ways that we split ourselves as artists and human beings, uh,
Yes.
it's just something that I think we all, at points, we get irritated with it, we get tired with it, but we know that this is something that we do to survive and thrive in this world.
Yes, yes. We got to do that. The thing is, I know I met some comedians. I won't name that guy, but he said that he's always a comedian on stage and off stage, and maybe that works fine with him. But frankly, I'm not always a comedian. I'm like I'm talking to you right now. I'm not a comedian. I'm the guy who I am, and when I'm performing comedy, I'm a different guy. I would if I'm doing crowd work, I could like they really pick people and just crack it apart. But I was, as a comedian, I'm a different person. Nobody would really know me as a person from my stage persona. So I'm different personalities. Yeah.
Well, more power to you while you flow in different directions, but with the same happiness at the center perspective. Could you tell us a little bit about what's on the cards next for you? What's next? What can our audience follow you for? What are the things that they can look forward to?
So I had two shows planned this month, which got cancelled because of virus. I'm just planning to record with more comedy content. So I had shows planned. I had a show in 11th in Chandigarh, 1st May in Chandigarh, both recordings, and 24th I had Bombay. Everything has got cancelled right now. So hopefully once the virus goes away, just follow me on Comedy Wala Amar. That's the comedy channel where I'll hopefully, once the virus goes away, I'll plan recordings and put out videos. So that's comedy, and that'll keep going on. And then I do a blog. My blog is called amarwani.blog, and that has a lot of content right now. It's a happiness blog. So the whole idea of the blog is to answer questions which make people happy inside. It's a happiness blog. Then I've written 7 books. So if you go on Amazon and search for Amarwani, you'll find all my books. You can read them. They're all there. And so that's books, blog, comedy, and there's another channel on YouTube called Amarwani by Amar, where I talk about where I'm reading my books literally right now. I'm reading and explaining my books. So that's the other channel where I talk depth. Those are the things you can follow me for it. Yeah.
That's quite a lot, and that's quite an array of things. And I'm very sure people will have a lot of joy in following this. And I do hope all of you read books by Amar. This kind of brings us towards the end of this segment. Do follow Amar for his comedy content as well as his happiness content, and somewhere the twain will meet. And till then, take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Stay well and take care. And this brings us to the end of Green Room Chat. This is your host, Shri Rupa Sengupta, signing off. And I have with me Amar. Amar, do you want to say bye to everyone?
Yeah, bye everyone, and do take care of yourselves. Please stay alive right now. I mean, the circumstances are really, really tough. So please stay alive. And if you stay alive, hopefully we'll meet somewhere on the other side. So yeah, take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much.